Some of the players' data is gorgeous, but from the perspective of the game, you feel that they are brushing the data. Some of the players' data is generally not ideal in terms of efficiency, but it makes people feel that he is going to play. It is an indispensable part of the team. Jimmy Butler is a player of this type. Even without the big jump version of Jimmy, the regular Jimmy is a top team player. And in this round of new shows, there is also a player who is heading towards the team-based player direction. He is the strong man Cooper Flagg. Also because of his team-based game style, we can only see that the data is not able to feel his charm. He is a top player in the team, and he is also a young man with excellent execution and learning ability. Because of this, I am sure that he may not be able to win the best new show. The new show season will not be a data bomb, but it is a strong man who will never fall. Maybe his style is different from what most fans expect. So why do I believe that Cooper Flagg will never fall? Is the current evolution direction really suitable for him? Just look at it. What is his basic requirement for his new show season? Let's look at it. The 3 games of the season before the season. For the Flagg World Cup, the team went on the field for 19.7 minutes. The team scored 10.7 points and 5.3 rebounds, 2.74 assists and 1.74 interceptions. In terms of versatility, the 3-way goal tension rate is 37%, 36.4% and 100%, and the team scored 1.3 points per 3 points. The 3-way goal tension rate is 37%, 36.4% and 100%, and the team scored 1.3 points per 3 points, according to Flagg's starting time and the task of Ng and Gday's arrangement. Fuliger's basic data is still very objective, which is more unacceptable for people, but we have to say that his 3-point shot progress is very obvious and very decisive and confident. His shot is a big problem. It's not that his first choice is wrong, but that after the confrontation, after many free throws, when he didn't rush to find the rhythm, Fuliger's stability will drop significantly. Especially in the preseason match against Jers, Fuliger was the first to control the position. He was very active, and I could see his shadow on both sides of the court. The defensive end is still the stable and smart defensive strongman, and when he needs to be the first offensive developer of the team as the offensive end, he is the win line. The execution power of the second ship is of course limitless. On the one hand, his control ability is not enough to let him directly get rid of the opponent and press the opponent to find a suitable teammate. Also, because there is no authentic control basic skill practice, he is also lacking in the global timing of holding the ball in time. Let's not talk about this. Fuliger said that while he was holding the team organization, he also had to attack independently. On the court, he hit the ball 3 times in 13 minutes, hit the ball 3 times in 3 minutes, hit the ball 6 times in 3 minutes, hit the ball 1 time, and hit the ball 4 times in a row. The whole court took 11 points, 7 blue boards, 1 assist, 2 snatches, and 2 covers. When he holds the ball, it is obvious that he will pay more attention to the control ball. His control ball is not the biggest problem, but the control technique is not pure enough, and it is a big problem that his own control method cannot be completed. For a win-line organizer, they do not necessarily have to reduce the center of gravity to make a breakthrough. Instead, it is a big problem that the control technique is not pure enough, and it is a big problem that the control technique is not complete. Of course, if you are a control player like Ingram, it is obvious that Fuliger does not belong to this type. Fuliger has a very strong reading and defense ability, and when he comes out of the empty position, this ability is restricted. However, I personally support G to continue to let him appear in the empty position from time to time. For Fuliger, the 7th floor of the field must be of positive significance. Another problem with Fuliger is that the ability to fight is still not enough. The defensive end is excellent. Excellent selection and early stable core confrontation are still enough. The offensive end is not the same. In a situation where his control is not excellent and he has no strength advantage, it is very difficult to even eat the wrong taste. We see that sometimes the opponent does not reduce the center of gravity, which is enough to fight against Fuliger. Then, in the case of stronger or more aggressive defense in the regular game, how should Fuliger be dealt with? His personal style is required for confrontation. Only the ability to fight up to the strength of the two ends of Fuliger's defense is greatly improved. It can be said that the higher the ability to fight, the faster Fuliger's impact on the court. Compared to him, the ability to fight against some foot and ball technology is the main task of the rookie season. Except for the above 2 points, I recognize Fuliger's performance in the preseason game. In the combination of different teams in different positions, he has a very high participation and will actively cooperate with the coach's layout. In addition to not being able to control the position, when he was in the lead, he was already a candidate player above the qualifying line. The offensive end of Fuliger is not as unsightly as the data looks. We don't have to think that Fuliger must come to 20 points every time. His game language is a little different from that of other players. we still treat him as Jimmy Butler. I'm talking about Jimmy who is not in his prime, but Jimmy who has been in 2 seasons. Flagger's automatic offensive ability has at least 3 or 4 seasons to gradually polish him, and he has shown his ability to defend at the offensive end. This defense is not as good as a good offensive developer. He is now an excellent team player. He can execute tactics efficiently. At the same time, he will not take up space. Looking at the preseason game, at least his 3-point shot is extremely confident, and the effect is at the qualifying level. If he is not an organizer, as a pure space point, he can take over the task of taking over the head of the ball, and he is also a very good second player. His field of view is also very good. He also knows how to use his own breakthrough and attraction to create opportunities for his teammates. Especially the performance in the short run is very eye-catching. We consider that Flagger's naked foot height is close to 203 centimeters and 213 centimeters. After entering the league, the probability will still rise. He will be a very good number 3 and number 4 player, and he can play an offensive role without taking the ball. This depends on the team and the coach's positioning of him. He may be on the basis of the current space type plus the side print, the all-round route of organizing the lead. The premise is that he needs to increase the confrontation. His sharpness is now enough, but there is also room for improvement. After these conditions have been completely improved, Flagg, the all-round offensive player, is a type of offensive end that can enter the top 2 to discuss. Of course, the premise is still the ability to fight, the ability to fight, the ability to fight. JV's all-round ability cannot be separated from his confrontation. All-rounder's confrontation cannot be bad, it needs to have an advantage. For Flagger's defensive end, my personal assessment is that the single defense end he already has the level of directly facing the opponent's second score point ability, and the team defense is now very good. He does not have the best confrontation, excellent static talent, excellent dynamic performance. His advantage lies in his comprehensive ability. He is static enough to use. The dynamic is not poor. Based on this, his defensive basic skills are very solid. Defensive IQ is extremely high, his judgment is very good, and he is not an aggressive defender. He is a large-scale defender who has read the offensive tactics and made early predictions. This also makes his basic physical conditions effective. His defense is very good, and belongs to the type that is easy to advance and retreat. His wide-ranging movement is very agile. He is also very clear about his own weakness, know how to extend and shorten. Anthony Davis said that he can defend from the 1st position to the 5th position. This is not bragging. Flagg has the potential of DPOY at the defensive end. Of course, I'm not saying he has the defensive talent like Jowan, but Flagg also has his own advantages. His discipline looks a little bit like an 18-year-old player. His degree of focus on defense. I thought it was Janet and Ben Juarez. I believe that friends who have watched the Ducks' previous games will have the same feeling. And his defensive IQ can already be defended to the best defensive team level. In the discussion, he is able to take care of both good and bad, will know when to assist teammates, and defenders who have the ability to command. Even if Wembley may be a DPOI in the next few years, when Flagger's mobility and ability to fight can be improved, he can also be in the aesthetic fatigue of the game. When it comes to DPOI, his defensive performance at this stage is very satisfying. The shortcomings. I think the first thing is the distribution of physical strength. He is not a pure defender. He needs to take care of too many field tasks. It consumes a lot of his physical strength. In addition, Flagger's confrontation is still to the point. Although the prediction ability can be prepared in advance, to a certain extent, Flagg now, covering this defect. How can there be no full-blown confrontation? You let him defend the whole star. There is no problem with the players on the sidelines. He still needs to accumulate more experience. It also needs to improve his horizontal speed. However, maintain the current speed of improvement. Flagg is selected as the best defender in the Bird season. The second game is not a talk of the heavens. Flagg is a team player with extremely high adaptability. He may not be suitable for the entire professional career, as well as the role of a subcombatant. The player template mentions him as the ultimate evolutionist. Janet is also unreasonable. It's not that they are similar in shape, but similar in use. It is the use of defense as the core influence. The offensive end can play their unyielding, and can also have the characteristics of the offensive end. Janet has the ability to test the level of history. Flagg hasn't played any regular games yet. It also makes people feel excited about his reading game ability. Flagg has an outstanding ball-less ability. His running timing is just right. He is not the kind of man who uses physical numbers to directly solve problems. He has a lot of exciting buttons. And in addition to these buttons, we need to pay attention to his analysis ability. He will also provide a lot of blue-collar work at the offensive end. He is not the kind of mess-up expert. He plays too reasonably. He won't let you see him cut points with the ball. Instead, he may become an excellent rhythm controller. These characteristics make him very charming. And he and Anthony Davis will be built into a powerful sweep network. If Flagg can successfully improve his confrontation, his physical distribution will be more reasonable. The new Ducks will become the top 5 defensive teams in the league. It is also reasonable. The two of them have a very large coverage and can complement each other. However, I am a little worried about Anthony Davis's weight. Although he said that he would lose weight during the game. If you want to see my worried video about AD, you can leave a comment in the comment area. Like more than 5,000 immediately. And Flagg's adaptability at the offensive end is extremely high. Even if Owen returns, he will not take advantage of Owen's atmosphere. He will only become his excellent helper. So this player is a little different from his review. He may score about 15 points in the field. But there will be 6 to 7 blue boards. 4 assists. 1.2 interceptions. And close to a cover. This kind of high-profile and stable team player is impossible to get rid of. He may not be in line with your aesthetic. His data, especially the score data, is not explosive. But he is a good player who plays the correct basketball. Brothers, this is the video of this issue. The video is not easy to create. I hope you can pay attention and like it.